My name is Sherri2. I'm the Senior Program Manager at the Abbey, the Rainbow, and St. Pedro House for Skid Row Housing Trust. Abbey opened up, we began taking applications, I believe, in November, and the Abbey opened up. It's got its first occupant in January, I believe. We have 113 apartments. 100 are the Housing Authority subsidized shelter plus care apartments. 13 are market apartments, market rate apartments. Shelter plus care occupants pay 30% of whatever their income is. If it's general relief, they pay 30% of approximately $221 a month. If it's SSI, it's about $890 or $900 a month, and they pay 30% of that. Market rate apartments, the maximum rent, I believe, is $398. First of all, the Abbey Apartments is brand new. So when people move in, they're the first tenant living in their apartments. And that's a wonderful feeling. The exterior is beautiful. The interior design is beautiful. It's state-of-the-art. They have a big apartment, and they have a kitchen, and they have a bathroom, everything they can call their own. But what really makes the Abbey special is the services that we provide here for each and every tenant, whether they be market rate or shelter plus care. We have an LVN, licensed vocational nurse, that's here 5 days a week, all day. We have a psychiatrist who's here, I believe, 1 day a week, but will be 2 days a week. We're in the process of having an LCSW. One was hired to provide therapeutic counseling services for when a tenant feels they would like to speak to somebody. We have a benefits specialist who can assist every tenant with any kind of problem or issue they might be having with their GR or their SSI or their Social Security or Medicaid or Medicare. We have a substance abuse specialist to assist people who have issues in that area and who are struggling with their recovery, and many of our tenants maintaining their recovery. And most importantly, we have our case managers. We have 4 case managers here. And they're here to make sure that whatever goals any of our tenants want to accomplish, we're here to help them do that in whatever way that we can. The tenants are not required to use these services if they choose not to. They are required, if they're shelter plus care residents, to see their case manager. And if they're not participating in any of these services, I'm sure some of the conversation during these sessions will be, what is it about them that don't appeal to you? Is there anything we can do to make it more appealing to you? We also have community meetings where we meet. Everybody in the building meets once a month to discuss the issues and the events that we have coming up. We have trips scheduled for the future, and we have groups happening 3-4 times a week right now, and we're going to have as many as, we're going to try and fill up the day from Monday through Friday with groups, events, trips, cooking groups, reading groups, learning Spanish. We take surveys of every tenant, and we ask them what they need and what they would like to see, and then we make sure we have something that will address this need. But yes, the tenants here come directly from the streets, not from housing.
So was there a recruiting process, or does the word just get put out and then people come and apply?
The word gets put out, people come and apply. I think we got 600 and some odd applications for a building that holds 113 apartments. And it's a long process. There's paperwork that needs to be gotten by every single person that comes in here. It must be up to date, and it must list their income. They must have an income under a certain amount of money per year. They must have a disability certification of some type, a mental health disability, a physical disability, HIV/AIDS. I think Skid Row has the potential to become a very kind of magical place in Los Angeles. It's many of the people that live here call it the recovery center of California. And it has there are more services concentrated in this area than in any other place in Los Angeles. So we are very equipped to handle the population that comes down here. And a lot of this population has mental health issues ranging from paranoid schizophrenia to bipolar to dysthymia and a host of other ones. And given the mental health climate in this country, I think there is no place really for people like this to go to gather for services. And so Skid Row is known for that. And luckily, apartments, beautiful apartments, are springing up thanks to people like Skid Row Housing Trust that can assist these people in finding a better road to travel.
Some of the critics, for example, some business owners, are really looking to. They say that the services being centralized in Skid Row is a problem because it brings everybody here. Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem like you agree with that.
I don't
think
agree with
centralized services are a good idea?
I absolutely think they're a good idea. And I think that if institutions and mental health institutions, is what I'm talking about, could assist these people in some way, then I think that would be a wonderful thing. But that's not what's happening, and I doubt very much in the near future if it will happen. So, as I said before, there is no place for people to go who are suffering and who are having a difficult time adjusting to mainstream America, mainstream society. We operate on a housing first. This is our philosophy, meaning that it's very, very important for people to have their own space and feel safe and secure in this space. Once that happens, we believe that we can apply all the services that we have at our fingertips here to shore up any gaps in their adjustment and to make them fit more easily into the world outside and to achieve whatever goals they may have gotten sidetracked from. Permanent supported housing means that the people that live here have their own apartment. Along with having their own apartment at a reduced rate, we have case managers whose job it is to discover what it is that everybody wants, what each tenant wants for their lives, and to help them get it. Frequently, people are their own worst enemy, and their main obstacles are themselves. And if that's the case, we have numerous ways to attack that problem, along with the resident. We want to empower every resident to seek out what they need to make their lives better. But we're here to offer whatever it is they need to get them to that point.
In each of these units, can more than one person live in the unit? Or?
No. In each unit, there's only one person.
And what about rules like guests and things like that?
The tenants can have as many guests as they would like during the day. And in the evening, in order to make sure that there's security in this building and safety, we have cameras, and we let them have 3 overnight guests per week. There are times when people have applied to come into the building and we turn them down, but that happens very, very, very infrequently if their past has been very violent and they're not on any medication, psychotropic medication. Then we will interview them. And when we interview people, we have a minimum of 2 people doing the interview so we can talk about it. And then if we're not sure, we have another 2 people to interview the same client to make sure that we're making the right decision. But we really feel a lot of people's mental illness is exacerbated by having to live on the streets. And once they come into a building like this, their mental illness symptoms will abate and they'll be able to see clearer.
And it becomes more manageable.
Yes, and it's an important issue for each person to be case manageable. Some people are not. And some people who are homeless prefer to be homeless for various reasons. And those people wouldn't benefit from being in a building like this. In order to live here, you don't have to take medication. You don't have to be sober. But the point of our case management program and all the services we have and the meetings and the groups is to make drug abuse anathema to living in this building. And in order to do that, we're going to fill up the day, as I said before, with lots of groups and activities and replace, hopefully, some of the desire some of the tenants may have to not be in recovery. It's more of a harm reduction model than it is any other kind of model at this point. Here at the Abbey, we have a licensed vocational nurse. We have a therapist who's an LCSW. We have a substance abuse specialist. We have a benefits specialist. We have 4 case managers. We have, who am I missing? We have a physician's assistant who's here. I think that's it. Did I get everybody? Okay.
And then do the residents, if they want to utilize those services, do they just make appointments? Or?
Yes. When a resident wants to utilize any of the services, all they need to do is let their case manager know or come down to see the doctor, see the physician's assistant, see the psychiatrist, see the LVN, and they can be seen right away. We have walk-ins and scheduled appointments for everybody.